Welcome to the Out on a Limb podcast. We are all interconnected to a greater web of consciousness. Our aim is to open your mind to a new world through having open-minded discussions about what we perceive our reality to be.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out on a Limb podcast with your hosts, Allison and Will and Samantha.
And shaking it up.
Where we are geared up and set for another Oracle card reading, this time for March. What's going to happen in March?
Isn't March the month that...
In like a lion,
right.
out like a lamb, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
In like a lion, out like a lamb?
In like a lamb, out like a lion?
No, lion first, then lamb, I think.
I don't think there's anything lion or lambish about this year at
I don't
all.
think so.
I think it's
all lion.
It's more dragons than it is anything else.
maybe.
Yeah, it is definitely over the top.
Yes.
Yes.
Shock and awe.
Well, and if anyone hasn't listened to when this, it has come out, the channeling that just took place with the collective.
Oh.
That was a really good message.
February 1.
February 1.
So you'll be seeing this in very early March. So look for the February 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait, was it the February? What? No.
Yeah, it would have been like
the one you just did Thursday night.
right,
That
which
would be
February 13th-ish.
February 13th.
Oh my God, I thought we were already in March. I can't. You guys, I can't. Like, this is...
She's in another dimension.
Her dimensions are slipping, people.
Time.
She's got
Excuse me, my dimension slipping.
right.
Time
She's
is
got
relative.
dimensional time slip syndrome.
Seriously, this is really frightening at times. I just don't know what's...
Dimensionitis.
Right.
But, people talk about things happening so slowly, and it's not happening
No,
slowly at all for me.
January was forever, but now it's all of a sudden like everything just took off. So yes, it's very odd. So yeah.
It seems darker in here than normal.
I think
boy,
we
here
seem
we go
brighter than normal.
It's
That, yes.
Oh,
but
that's our
in terms
effervescent
of
personalities.
looking at our cards,
just glowing.
see if I can read them.
You'll put your glasses on.
I'll have to. I've got them here.
Okay.
We're ready.
So are we doing this?
Okay,
Do you
we
guys
are.
wonder what we're up to?
No, they're
You know,
wondering.
if you know, please let us know.
They're
because-
wondering what March is up to, and we're going to tell you.
Okay,
We're going to tell you. So the first card that we're going to pull is going to be for the collective.
Oh,
Ouch.
sorry.
For the collective. I didn't do anything.
No, that was me.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I like whacked it really
Just
hard.
adjusting my
You know
chair.
what would be funny is if you guys, I'm sorry, there's different styles, and I'm not knocking you if this is your style. It makes me go crazy. When the people, I think we talked about this before, when they're shuffling and
Yep.
they go flying all over the place.
Yep.
And one of these times I just want to go like that and have everything go everywhere.
Well, then,
Slide around and pick them up off the floor.
then we have to pause so you can pick them all up.
No, everyone would just see what I'm wearing underneath.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's a different episode.
Well, it's just jeans. Just
That's a different
match.
podcast.
That's a different account.
People said they like to join us in our conversations, like over morning breakfast and things like that, but they wouldn't want to join in. That kind of
No,
no.
really, that's no.
All right, who's going first today?
I went first last time.
You know,
Not that I can't go
not
first
that
again, but-
not that I like to go first, but James Van Praagh often has his cards are kind of an overview first, and then you guys can get into the technical maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
is that how it goes?
So
Okay.
the intention of this one is what's coming up in March in general.
Right.
Right.
This is overall March.
Okay. Overall
Kind of a
Marchness.
I'll let you fix that box the way you like to.
Okay.
All right. So this card is discipline. You're going to see it up on the screen when Will puts it up there. It says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. But as soon as I saw the word discipline, what was coming to me was discipline for the long haul for 2025. Isn't so much about discipline in terms of staying on your diet or your exercise routine or your prayers in the morning or whatever. It's more about disciplining your ego, taming the ego, and having discipline to continue to use discernment because of the chaos that's going to continue to ramp up in 2025 and in March, I think, is what I'm sensing. So the discipline to live by the spiritual knowing that you have inside. We've been at this a long time, 2 years now. You guys have been on your path for a while too. And so don't be like newbies. Don't lose your shit.
Unless you are a newbie.
Don't devolve into your humanness if it's not going to be productive. And in fact, in the Thursday channeling for February, they did mention, because somebody asked that question about devolving into your humanness, and how disappointing it is to us sometimes when we forget to be our divine selves. So it's about the discipline of being our divine selves. But their answer was, it's okay if you get angry or you're grief-stricken, but don't stay there, because that is the wrong energy. And they said, you're actually going to be going backwards. Continue your forward momentum, have the discipline to live in that divine perspective that you are aware of and that you know. Harness it as much as possible. Don't beat yourself up when you don't, but don't stay there. You're going to need the stamina, and you're going to need the comfort of your spiritual teachings and that discipline to stay in a peaceful state as things continue to progress. That's my understanding.
Well, that's very interesting then, compared to what I have. Or not compared, but it goes along with what I have. You want to go first, or you want to go next, or you want me to go next?
Go for it.
Okay.
She seems like she has something up her sleeve.
There's a little Cheshire cat smile over here. So this one, this
Is that the dragon
The
card?
dragons, yeah. Dragon Oracle cards. And I'll put it up. It'll be hard to see right here, but it's Thor's red, black, and golden dragon.
Wow.
As I was shuffling this, it just was open, and I was like, oh, yep, this is the one. Protects you in times of change. A time of rapid transition and transformation.
Oh my gosh.
Relax. You are safe. So, what is just the literal looking at this? Call upon Thor's red, black, and golden dragon when you need your assistance to feel a bit of protection in these crazy times, right? So that's kind of the literal meaning of this. But as I sit with this, and as I really kind of get into it for March, we were joking about comes in as a lion, goes out as a lamb, and as Samantha was like, I don't think
It's not going out.
it's not going that way this year. So
No, I don't think so at all.
right. And do we need protections? I mean, for myself personally, I look as I've always got protection around me with my team. But if you need special protections, by all means do that, because what this is about, this transformation that we're in, and again, this isn't about where we are, politically, geopolitically, or whatever. This is a greater whole of change. This is part of the disruptions that are necessary to evolve humanity. So if you feel you need these bits of protection, then by all means call them in, because through transformation, it is going to be difficult. But if you feel comfortable with the protections, you're going to find yourself in a place that you're safe and comfortable. So that's why it says, relax, you're safe. It's by what means you can find yourself atop all of whatever's going on. It's not a distraction to you. You're sitting above it all. Your essence, your soul is above all of what's taking place around you, even though you might not feel it. To what Allison's saying, it's, you may want to play in your humanness for a while, but don't live there. Just vacation there for a moment if you wish. But knowing that you are protected by, really protected by your own divine soul. That's truly the protection that you have. And, the times that are ahead, whether it's for March or moving forward. But, if we want to specifically say March, I think reading into this, March is going to be a bit more of the drawing back of the curtains to where we're going to see so much more that we weren't aware of. And it's going to be very disruptive for us. It's going to be very chaotic for us. It's going to be very earth-shattering for some. And if we can't find ourselves above it. And now this isn't an ego thing of being above it. It is a soul aspect of being above it. Then yes, we're going to fall into some very difficult times. But again, call upon those protections that you may have set aside before, or that you're comfortable with, because that is the bubble of energy that's going to allow you to float to the surface and float to the top, and allow you to have comfort throughout these tumultuous times. And looking at the dragon, it is even where it's spewing fire, it's doing all these things, and it is to energetically, it is to keep at bay those things that are distracting you, and those things that are, keeping you from being your divine self in the moment. So throughout the month of March, be aware of that. And I think that's really the true message here for March is to be aware of all of the things that are taking place around you, being aware, not being immersed, and not being distracted by it, but being aware of it. And that, again, will also allow you to be, rise above it all. And your month of March will maybe go out, quote unquote, as a lamb. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I like how those two went together already.
Yeah.
So I got so much meaning out of this card that I've been going, and another one, and another one. I can't, what is the main thing? So I'm just going to give it all to you. Normally, I don't remember songs at all. And for some reason, no, it's not this synchronistically. Natasha Bedingfield's song Unwritten. You need to listen to that song. This card is the 9, it says 9 on it, and it's solitude. 9s are about things coming to fruition. So it's like right before the completion of things. So it's right on the edge of that. And she's sitting there holding this book. And on one side there's writing, and on the other it's blank. And so to me, it's saying March is a transitional month. And it's when you talk about solitude, the need to go within, and that, it is a time to kind of contemplate, gather, see what all has transpired, where you are now. Oh, wow. A lot of messages. I'm sorry. It's like a lot.
Yeah.
So it's about taking stock, looking at all of these things that occurred. Where are you now? Are you safe? Are you healthy? Do you have what you need? Do you what is abundance? Do you have the things that are required for you to be comfortable? In other words, take stock. You've been provided for this whole time, no matter what is all the craziness going on in the world around you. If you're hearing this message, you are among the people who are, who have that cushion of abundance. I don't mean financially necessarily. It's just you have what you need to make it, to continue making it through. So stop focusing on the lack thereof of anything, because you have absolutely everything required for you to keep moving forward. It's also talking about, so that's the solitude, going in, taking stock, and it's recognizing that this is a new chapter coming up. This is definitely a transitional month that is going to, it feels like it is going to spring you forward. Like I know in April, I'm going on a road trip, and I don't know what's going to happen. Like I can't get anything beyond, I know that I'm going. And it's that sort of, this is prepping, I know me, for that whole moving into that stage. So, and then also I got hit by the North Star with this. And that's a message that I keep saying to people is, take this time, go into that quiet space, determine what is your true north. Understand what your true north is and stay true to that. Let that be that guiding light, because it's going to be, again, along with the discernment, and all of the other messages and so forth, it is going to be the absolute thing that gets you through. And so it can course correct you every time you start going into hysteria or anger or whatever you want to do, as long as you keep going back to that true north. But you have to decide what that is. And it might already be apparent to you, or might just, you need to take a little stock to rediscover it or whatever. It's right there in front of you. anyway, yeah, it's
So the
very
discipline
intense.
to stay in your true north.
Yep.
And-
And get prepared.
And
'cause
interestingly,
it's gonna- Yep.
that was the card I pulled for February.
Oh, really?
It was, right?
And it just keeps ramping up, doesn't it? Like we thought all of this stuff coming,
Yeah,
coming out in
yeah.
February,
Yeah.
and we're just going, really?
Yeah.
And I
But wait, there's more.
I know, and I keep looking at all the stuff that's happening in our government and stuff, and you keep going, this number of things can't occur in one day, and
We
yet it
can't keep up,
keeps,
right.
it keeps happening, and it's just mind blowing. So hang on to your socks, people.
That's for sure.
That's for darn sure.
That is for sure.
I
All
like
right.
that card, and you pulled that one because that
Yeah,
one stood
when
out to
when
me.
you said solitude, I was like, wait a minute. And then I saw the card. I'm like, that's the one I pulled last month.
That is cool.
And there are a lot of cards. Obviously, it needed to come out again.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, now if it comes out in April too, it's going to be like, whoa.
Wait a minute here. What's going on?
But what's interesting is, and this is the point of the cards and using your intuition to read the cards rather than the booklet. Because Will's interpretation, what he was getting, the reason that he pulled that card and what he was getting behind it was completely different for
Oh, yeah.
February than it was for you for March. Because,
yeah.
different things needed to be highlighted. So this one is going to be for someone, one or more people in our audience who are struggling with an issue. What?
Are you that person?
Are you that person?
Are you struggling?
Is it you?
Don't be that
Is it
person.
you?
Right.
Is it you? I see you back there.
Raise your hand if this was for you.
Who is it? Raise your hand.
Let us know if it helped. Because
Actually, we've had some for February. So we had quite a few comments that people were like, "Yep, I'll pull.
They resonated, yeah.
I'll take that card."
I like that.
Yeah.
Are you starting off?
You want me to go again? We go in the same order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, we need some filler time here, don't we?
We do. Do we have any stories?
I don't know. Because usually during our shuffle time we have some stories. I don't know.
Do we have stories?
Well, usually we start our little behind the scenes, I guess you could call it. We usually do our card readings at the very first recording of the day, not the last. And this ends up being the
we're
last
kind
of
of
the day because we
punch drunk here.
just had two really good podcast recordings or interviews with some special guests. So those will be upcoming. Well, you might by that point may have seen one or two of them, but
Maybe.
yeah,
No, probably not.
I don't know.
It's a very rainy, sleepy day outside.
And it is, yeah.
And Allison's falling asleep.
I'm sleepy.
It could be, well, it could be the transitional energy again from the full moon and on all of that. So
Okay, so I want them to pick which one I should do. Go ahead.
Let her know.
Richard.
Send her the psychic
This one?
message.
reach your hand up.
This one, you know the guy from Blue's Clues?
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Steve?
Yeah, well, the TikTok things he's doing.
No.
So my daughter, and that's why I started to do that. My daughter's like, you have to go watch this. You have to go watch it. And I went to see it. And he's just like, so how are you doing today?
Really?
And he's talking
Yeah.
to
And he's like, my daughter says, I feel validated.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not saying anything. He's listening. He is listening to everyone that goes, you guys got, so that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting
wonder
here,
what his-
I'm listening to you guys going.
I wonder what his
"This-
background is."
Oh no, go back. They said go back. Okay, I got it. Thank you. This must be for you then.
You guys are crazy.
Thanks.
Always.
I'd rather be on this side of crazy than any other side of crazy.
Does the Blues Clues guy still wear his shirt and everything? Like, is he acting
No, he's
on
not a
behalf of that?
geek, No.
Oh, I didn't know if he was
He's
acting.
grown up and mature now.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was acting as
No,
that
and
or
he'll
as
have a-
himself.
he'll
Heck,
have
he was in his
cup of
like
tea.
I think he was in
20s,
his like
maybe?
late 20s when he was doing that show.
Hair's a little.
I forgot what his background
Well,
is.
how old is he now then?
He's in
late
his
40s?
He's in his late 30s.
Yeah, what's his? I can't remember his. What, did I say his name?
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
You guys, you got to go look it up because it's like seriously, he is holding space for you to like. I've wanted to do it myself, and then I'm like, well, he's already done
He's
it.
already doing it.
Yeah. I can't.
All the good ideas
You know,
are
he
already.
wasn't the very first
All the
one.
good ideas.
No.
No.
Someone else
There was
did it?
somebody, Blues Clues had somebody first, and then they replaced that guy
Well,
with
no, we're
somebody else.
saying that's holding the space. That's just letting you.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
feel
I'm just saying
validated.
that Steve wasn't the very first.
Interesting.
Oh, look at my bangs now.
I don't remember the
There's
name.
movement. Okay.
Are your bangs okay? Do your bangs give us permission to continue?
Do your bang sang low. Anyway, go ahead. Trying to get the energy revved up here, folks.
Wow. Well, this one is Destroyer. You should see it on your screen, and it is a volcano blowing.
So this is for somebody in the audience.
That reminds me of my favorite comedian,
Oh,
Ron
White.
Oh, and you're laughing, or you're looking disgusted at me for saying, or do you
And I
bang
s-
sang low?
And I wasn't disgusted
Oh,
about it.
okay,
I was just
okay.
making fun of your bangs. Anyway, I got to tell this. This is hilarious.
Okay.
So Ron White, when he does his whole hurricane bit, this is old.
It's very old.
And he's like, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. And so now I love to say blowing.
So
Blowing. And if you don't know that bit, you got to go listen to it.
go to YouTube. I'm
Like
sure
when
it's
you
there.
see a cow flying through or a car flying through. Anyway, he's hysterical. Oh my God, I love him. All right, so Destroyer, of course, because these are Caroline Mace's archetype cards. And we know with the archetypes, there's a light and a dark, or a good and a bad, or a positive and a negative side of it that can express. So pay attention to whether you are expressing the light attributes or the shadow attributes, and maybe they need some adjustment or balancing. The light attributes are releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. Oh, this is how tired I am.
What?
Did you forget what you were saying?
This is how tired I am. I was about to flip the card upside down and read the other side. Because I was thinking that they were, oh my
Just-
God.
Just a
Oh
blonde
my God,
moment.
you guys.
Just a blonde moment. That's
And I'm not even blonde.
right.
The shadow attributes: intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential.
Oh, don't do that.
No. So if that is you, you need a little balancing. But this is so cool because we have talked, I'm trying to think when we talked about this. Where did we talk about this? Oh, I guess it was probably in our 12-week origin story course. We were just talking about this, where with the fires in California and just different things. And this is about the circle of life, but when you have destructive energy that moves through you or moves through a Mother Earth, it is preparing for the new. And you can't have the new thing or the new condition or the new whatever it is you're looking for without making room for it. And so the Destroyer, that's the positive attribute, the light attribute, is making room through the destruction for the new. So, you know, a lot of times when they do controlled burns in a forest, it's because with that comes new growth. It's more abundant, healthier, and all of that sort of thing. So where in your life do you need to make room? Or perhaps this is already happening, perhaps a partner left, there was a dissolution of a job or some other situation. Can you reframe that and look at it in a different way so that you understand that it's not so much about this thing that's going away as much as it making room for this new thing that needs to come to you. And you can't be gifted with that new thing until there's room. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So that's what I'm thinking. It's somebody who is either needing to make room or this thing just happened. And you're looking, of course, through eyes of grief, upset, uncomfortableness, but try to reframe that into what can I expect? I can anticipate something beautiful now coming into my life.
It's again that theme of transition. It's that theme of change. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, it's ever changing. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well,
What book is that?
this is Angel Answers.
Okay.
Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And the card that I picked was unlikely. Very interesting.
Uh-oh.
That's a magic 8-ball answer.
Right. Unlikely.
Is so-and-so going to call me for a date?
Unlikely.
Likely.
Am I going to get a new job?
So who was
Unlikely.
just out there asking a question?
Right.
Does this
Yeah.
resonate with you?
Right.
Whatever it is, it's unlikely.
I mean, it's, right.
And that's the end of that card.
Debbie
Well-
Downer.
And there's your answer. No,
How
but-
do you follow that one up?
Yeah, it is for somebody that's out there that's going through that struggle right now, and it could be, you're looking for a new job, or maybe, some aspect of your finances, or some aspect of a relationship, or whatever it might be right now in your life. You're looking at it as there's an unlikely chance that this is going to have this type of outcome, because that's the energy you're sensing right now. You're looking at it, you're allowing your humanness, the density of your humanness, to give you an outcome versus coming from a divine place, a heart-centered place. So, and yes, that is the nature of being human, is that we, when something uncomfortable settles into our awareness, or, we have a challenge ahead of us, many of us are going to, take the human approach to it. And in that case, you're going to have you're going to think unlikely. It's going to be unlikely that this relationship's ever going to resolve itself, or this thing is ever going to do this. And that's not a bad place to be, as long as you don't, and back to what we said earlier, as long as we don't live there, as long as we don't stay there, as long as we don't, hold on to that. But in that moment, that's when the clarity of discernment starts to kick in, or not discernment, but it's the word I'm looking for. But it's that place where you start to make a decision that, okay, I don't want to be here any longer. I'm going to change my perspective. I'm going to think differently about this. I'm going to allow change and transformation to take place, because I'm going to have a better outcome because of this. This is actually a transformative chance for me to change where I'm going, or what I'm doing, or the decisions I'm making. And so, use the unlikely aspect of what you're thinking at the moment to really be the catalyst to propel you out of it, so that you can change. And it's kind of those like dark nights of the soul. You have to have those moments, and where you're really thinking all the, bad thoughts. Well, eventually you find your way out of that dark night of the soul, and you look back and you go, I needed that to be where I am today. And that's what I think this card really is for someone, is you're in the midst of something that has in your mind an unlikely outcome, but yet realistically it has a very positive outcome. But you have to just go through that moment of truth in that to have the positive outcome on it. So.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It started off as a very snarky card, though.
Yeah,
But
well, it can be.
I love what you saw on that. I was like, I don't know where you're going with that afterwards, but I was impressed.
That was great.
Oh, excuse me. So I'm doing these medicine cards, which is funny because I looked at the picture. I'm like, oh, that's like medicine stuff, not realizing they were medicine cards. Yeah. So I'm not especially fond of this deck, I guess. Jamie Sams and David Carson, no, slack deal, whatever. It's the discovery of power through the ways of animals. So anyway, but this applies to someone out there. So I saw this beautiful lizard, and I picked another
Lizard
card.
last month.
Right, you picked the lizard last month.
Isn't
from the animal cards.
and it's a totally different
Right.
meaning
And somebody
this
else
time.
got the lizard.
Yeah.
For something.
Yeah.
This is weird because I mixed them up. So
This is interesting.
And this is the one you guys had me pick.
That's right.
Whoever needed this. And what's interesting is, the first thing I noticed about this is that I had nothing to say about it. Then the next thing was, it reminds me, this is the kind of lizard that I recall seeing out in Arizona when I went to, what is that? Homolovi. And it's this beautiful place where there's there's old Indian, Native American homes and so forth. And so Native Americans still come to this spot and they will, do whatever at this spot.
Their ceremonies.
My mother has Pinky's warned me to spread our ashes in this place because it's the most peaceful place that you will ever go to. And you can see Mount, what is it in Flagstaff? Not Mitchell, Mount.
Oh, right. I know which one you're talking about. Yes, yes,
It's the only big mountain here in Arizona.
Yeah, it's like 12.5 or something like that.
So you'll see that off in the distance from this location, and it's so calm and peaceful. And they've got these lizards. They're gorgeous, running everywhere. And I took so many pictures of them. Okay, so leading up, let me just share my life with you. So now you know where my mother's ashes are going to be buried.
Right.
So anyway, looking at this, once I made all of those connections, I was like, oh, like those lizards, you've got to conserve your energy. So this is really specific for someone. There are going to be moments where there is going to be, like, you're going to need a sprint. A lot's going to be asked of you, but you're going to need to have that energy for a sprint. So in between, like, you really need to just play it cool. You know, it's not about gathering your resources or so much as, when I say conserve energy, you can't stay in this high tension space. Like, you need to just like the geckos do. You know, you see them, they'll sit in the sun and they'll just hang out and they'll soak it in. But when they need to have action, when they need to go in for the kill for something or whatever it is, then they're like high velocity really fast, but then they're back into the sun mode. So it's that kind of conserving energy. And then I did a clarification card because I did not like that. And my clarification card is like, even giving me less, folks. I mean, you're putting these up here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we have a lizard and then we have nothing.
Oh my gosh. It's to make up your own thing. That's what that means.
That looks like a medicine drum
wheel?
or a medicon circle or something.
Yeah, but this is supposed to all be about animals.
Right.
So this is about amoebas because these are single-celled little things here. No, seriously, struggling with but actually, what I saw when I first looked at this was, when I talk about conserving energy and that you're going to have these sprints, just there's a sense of what I was picking up on. Because immediately sun came to mind, is that there's going to be moments of like just kind of that young laughter, that just belly full of fun and happiness, good medicine, because and so it's not that it's going to be all serious. I'm not saying it's going to be serious at all, because that sounds very ominous when you say conserve your energy. Just know that there are going to be these times where it's just really feel good energy, where you can just really laugh with a friend, really, and it's kind of like soaking in those moments, because that is really it's not the conserving of the energy that's going to replenish you for those sprints. It's going to be finding the joy in the moments. That is going to be the thing that gets you through those sprints. And I'm not saying the sprints are difficult. It's just, it's a lot of energy. It's going to, so I don't want to use the words challenging or anything like that. Just know that sprints, it requires everything from your body, and then you're done, and then you can take a breath. So I would love to know who I pulled this for, if that made sense.
Wow.
You can even private message me.
And sometimes, I know our friend Judy has this happen a lot, and we have this happen a lot, is sometimes you go into a valley on purpose. And so it's about conserving or going within or learning or doing your own soul growth or resting. Because we'll go like where we have a client every day for months. And then all of a sudden, no calls, no emails, no nothing. And we're in a valley again. And back in the early days, it used to disturb us because it's like, are we going to have clients again? But it's more about conserving our energy. And every time we would ask, it's like, okay, this is your time. Find joy, have fun. Be in the human, just rejuvenate yourself and use this time because it's going to amp up soon again and you're going to need your energy.
Or to the point of, and many times we call it cocooning because we go, we go these.
But they didn't give me a worm.
We go through these sprints, right? Where we're working with clients all the time, or we're engaged in something energetically, or even in our human lives, we're just engaged and stuff is piled on and we're doing it all the time. And then all of a sudden, there's just the calm, the doldrum, right, of life, where it just, all of a sudden, everything just seems to flow. And you've got all this time, but yet then what we do with all that time is we generally fill it.
Yeah.
Instead of taking our time for ourselves
So
and cocooning.
conserve,
Right.
don't fill it.
It's that reflective moment of ourselves that we really need for growth, because, even if something does ramp up, it's really, I think what I find for myself when I have those doldrum moments, or those quiet moments, when everything comes back online after it, it has amped up even stronger. It's gone up one level. My energy is connecting better. It's clear. It's
Yeah, for
refined. It's So I think that's really the key in all that, and through all these cards, and I think that's the pivotal message for March, is that regardless of what's going on around your world, it's to be observant of your time, be observant of your energy, be observant of what's taking place in your life, so that if you notice that slowdown in your life, that's the time to just sit on the couch and maybe watch a stupid movie, or just curl up with a book, or just curl up with a blanket and take a nap. Because you need.
Oh my God, it's so nice right now.
Right?
It really does.
You need that. You need those moments. We need those moments to refine ourselves and refine our energy and allow the process to take place. So.
Yeah, and just remember, because my first card was about solitude for March, but this one, it's saying conserve, but it was a definite point of not to isolate. It's to bring others into your experience where there is that shared joy.
Yeah.
So
For me, like I told our group on Thursday, or I don't know, one of them.
yeah,
For me, the humanness is on top of a roller coaster. It may be in Tampa, Busch Gardens, and I'm at the top, and I'm getting ready to go on that first run down the hill, and I'm like, yes, this is why I keep choosing to come into a human body.
that's pretty much it.
It is.
And the message in that is, don't deny your humanness. I
Right.
mean, don't.
If you want the Pop-Tart, eat it. That
Eat
has
it,
been the
right.
theme this week.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, if you want the Pop-Tart, eat the Pop-Tart. If
But
you
I
want,
can't say the person's name because they said that we weren't supposed to say their name.
Right.
But you know who
we
we're
talk about
talking
her too
about.
much.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
we said Pop-Tart, because she's
Right.
talking
She'll
about
know.
eating Pop-Tarts.
She'll know if she listens the whole way through.
She'll listen the whole way through. She has to now.
But this was really fun. I hope this was helpful for you as you navigate March, as we're coming into March. And if you need assistance, please reach out
Yep.
or send an email, and we'll be happy to help any way we can.
Yep, yep.
Thanks for the comments. We appreciate those. Keep them coming.
keep sharing.
Keep sharing. Keep hitting that like button, because it does make a difference in the algorithm. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode, because we have a lot of good guests coming up still.
Yep.
And thank you. Thank you again for watching,
Being
for
part of the
watching us
journey
and
with
listening
us.
to our conversation, and for all your
Commenting and
beautiful
all that.
comments. We
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yep.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.